All right, let's start with ES. So this is a weekly chart and I drew these fibs and I posted the daily. Well, we can start with the daily. So these were the Friday rejections that I posted, and market couldn't even go all the way there today. Okay, I have both. So let's look at the hourly chart. I'm still trying to figure out where this market is going, but looks like it is going. It's going bearish. I mean, today's move is going to be bearish. Is bearish, and if we break this trend line, yeah, we have a much bigger move that's possible. And one big flash would be so much better than all the grind that we have been seeing. However, we may not get any move tomorrow or the day after because of the Fed. Most of the time, what happens is just before and the week of the Fed, until the Fed minutes are out, market is going to move sideways. That's one of the reasons I wasn't taking any. I had a lot of bearish alerts today, but if the market starts moving, in this range for the next couple of days, we are going to go nowhere. And having more positions on the Fed day is always a bad idea. I mean, things could go against us really fast. So I'm going to wait until the Fed decision. I think we will get a better read not on Wednesday, but probably on Thursday. So let's see how that goes. Now let's look at the weeklies. That's the 2020 bottom, and that's the top. And these fibs, when I look at this, that's the 50% retracement. We haven't even done the 38% retracement. I know the market looks really bearish already, but yeah, that's 38%, that's 50%, that's 61%. So it could come all the way down to 3,200. Even if it comes all the way down to 3,200, you have only erased what? 2 years of move, I guess. Yep, 2 years of move. So we'll see. Nasdaq Composite, this is probably giving much better information because there are more stocks in it. So this is much more natural to look at, the flow is. And we have this left shoulder here, right shoulder here. Well, I mean, more or less this, we are not very far from this 12,150, 400 points, I guess. My guess is if we get a flush, we might all go all the way down to 10,290, but our next target is 11,400. So that would be the 50% correction of this whole move. That's what I'm looking at Nasdaq. And right now, until I think I might, I'm also thinking maybe I should just trade indices rather than stocks. I mean, I'm getting stopped out left and right because of this high volatility. Let's see what happens after the Fed day. I've also posted all these in the Take on the Market channel. That's Nasdaq, 60%. This one seems much easier. This is already at 38% retracement. 50 is here, 10,000. This makes a lot of sense. Again, a flush like this would get rid of so many bottom fishers. Whoever is buying Square, PayPal, or all those companies that have gone down a lot, one large flush in the market will get rid of all those guys. There will be plenty of panic, and that will be the bottom of the market. So that's what I'm expecting. And one of the easiest ways to see the bottom is to have these big candles. Look how the candles are here and how it is here, and look at how big these are. So, and probably we'll see a big move in the VIX too. And we'll talk about VIX, what happened in 2008. I was just watching that. That's with NASDAQ. This is Russell. The 50% is 1700, 61% is 1500. So far, it seems that Russell has been doing well since we got that, it's that 28 Jan 28 low. This is a weekly chart. So it hasn't breached that low yet. This could be because Russell has a lot of energy and financials, which have been doing pretty, better than, the tech and other sectors. So let's look at crude. Let's go to a daily. This is what I was talking about when I said the trend line. I drew this trend line a long time ago, and on this day, I'll go to the daily now. On this day, this is why technicals work so better. It came all the way down here, and it 103 or 104 to 109. That's a $5. $5 is a lot for crude. One contract, $5 is about $5,000. So, it is still looking okay. It's not bearish yet. We want to see it come back and test the highs, probably, towards this 120s level, and then move lower. So that way we will have, this is a high, and probably look for a lower high, and then breach this one and make a lower low or something. So when this one is breached, after it moves higher and this one is breached, we can probably buy some puts to the downside for crude or any energy stock. I don't know when that is going to happen, or the other scenario is where it will break this 130 and probably go higher. I have this alerted 146. I think the 2080 high is 147. So those are the two scenarios. Up or down right now. But if things get better, yes, I want to see that lower high and a lower low. Gold is still looking good. I'm still looking for a comeback and test of the previous, bounce back. So it could probably bounce off of here or bounce off of here. We'll see where it goes, but that's a pretty decent pullback after such a big move. Let's see how it did. That's not even a 50% retracement yet. So this could still come back and test at 1930, I guess. Let's do that. Next. Yeah. VIX actually gives us a lot of information. So let's go to daily. There are a couple of things to understand and VIX daily. All right. So if you look at this one, right, we'll also check the S&P, what happened on these days. This is October, okay? And this is November, okay? And this is March 9th, okay? So this is where market has bottomed. This is where a lot of tech stocks have bottomed, okay? And this is, there was a big dip on this day. That's all I could see on S&P 500. But my point is, VIX first goes down, and after a while, the market comes, bottoms. So once the fear is gone, I guess this lower high is probably a good way to look at it. So we'll see when this lower high forms right now in 2022. Let's right now, we are still so far away. I don't know if we are going to go all the way down to 80, but we have a bunch of levels to watch: 40, 44, 50, and 68. We have a bunch of levels to watch. This is one of the reasons I don't see a lot of panic at all. When there is panic, there will be a lot of talk. Everybody we know will be talking about how bad the market is, how they are scared. And we'll also see that in VIX, we'll see that in everywhere will be, and also especially the CNBC. CNBC will talk about, doom and gloom, and, it's going to be an easy one to understand. So right now, we still have to get out of this wedge, move higher, and probably bottom at some point. We were talking about Apple a few minutes ago. Apple actually, it broke. We were talking about this trend line even in our last webinar. It broke this level right now. Again, I wanted to get into most of these puts, but because of Fed, I'm not sure. I don't think it's a good idea to have many positions right now. Amazon looks horrible today. Looks like, that split that looks like only a 1-day move, and it's back to, when they announced the split, it's already back there. And also I have been reading about Bill O'Neill saying that when you have a lot of splits by a bunch of companies, that's generally the peak of the market. So I don't know if we are still in the peak, I don't know how far we are going to go down. And Netflix, I know somebody asked me about Netflix before. Yeah, as I was saying, it was hanging on to a thread. Now it's broken down, it's coming down. Most of the times when you have these big gaps, that's not generally a single event. We have seen that in Snap. Netflix is not Snap, but actually DocuSign is one of them. You have a big gap, and in the next one you have another gap. This is not uncommon. So, for somebody who wants to buy Netflix here, I would think you should probably wait and see what happens to the next results, and see if they give better results. It's already cut more than half. Okay, you're not gonna miss much. What else? Oh, Facebook. Yeah, it already broke that 190. I have no clue where this is going. 137, I don't know. When something falls so much, you can't short them, you can't buy them. It's hard, especially a stock like Facebook. Yeah, I was saying Google is about to break an important level. That's 2,500. And most probably, if all these stocks break, this will probably happen after the Fed. I'm actually surprised that we had such a negative reaction in NASDAQ, with Fed being 2 days away. I thought it would be mostly a sideways day, but no, there is a lot of bearish action. This could also be because of what's happening in treasuries, or the 10-year yield will go there. And yeah, I've been saying this 620, 550 for a while. Now this looks not very far after moving after having such a big pullback. Yeah, and this 550 has been the support the entire last year. So higher probability that, and because it is so far away, about 8 months now, no, 10 months now. So whenever the support points are farther away, there is a higher probability of bounce from there. Yeah, well, it's too choppy here. Well, we could probably have another level here and see what happens there. But I mean, this is a bearish action, obviously. But I guess after 4 days of move lower, that's a mild bounce. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's see, we have a couple more tickers. Airbnb. What I have seen while I was trading Airbnb is this one and Dash, they generally move together. Okay. I still don't know what the correlation is, but they have been moving together for a long time, and Dash is hitting new lows. So I would expect Airbnb would do the same. That's 121. But if it breaks this 130, this there is not a volume, not a lot. It's barely 2 days or just 1 day. I mean, there's only one close below this line. So I would think this 130 would be more important. If this is broken, yeah, it's moving lower. All right. Intuit. I haven't traded this one in a while. Yeah. It erased all of not most, but yeah, probably 75% of last year's move or 80% of last year's move. Well, I mean, this is in a downtrend, obviously. That 365 and 385 would be the next two levels. If it does not bounce off of 424, actually, this is an important level because it broke out of this base right here. So yeah, this 424 is an important level right here. If it breaks down, it's going to 385 and probably 365 next. Nike seems to be bearish and it makes sense because everything we had, all the problems we had with COVID and everything, they are all coming back. Inflation is a problem. I mean, those are the fundamental things, but looking at just the chart, yeah, this is not looking good at all. See how is Foot Locker doing? Yep. So this whole group might be down a lot. I guess that's it, guys. Let me know what the questions or whatever you have. That's all I have for you today. I mean, a better day would be to, have this conversation is after the Fed. Well, if we have the Fed on Wednesday and if we get a, some kind of definite move on Thursday, and Friday will probably, if Thursday is a negative move, Friday most probably will be a, bounce move. So we can do some research over the weekend and see which ones are looking good. So
So KP, at this time, should
yes.
we buy some puts in Nike?
So I always think in terms of this. You should buy anything at a support, or when for puts you have to buy when it's breaking the support. So this would be that point. Okay. The thing is when you have, okay, so whoever is shorting here, right? So 129 to 117, that's 12, that's over 10%, right? So if this starts to move higher, they will all cover. So this could go all the way back to 129 again. So that's that's the low risk entry. This is the low risk entry. Right now, yeah, this is your risk will be 12%. Okay. If you're wrong, you would lose 12%. So let me So another way is that if we have something like this, if we have a pattern like this where it moves sideways and breaks down, if that happens here, and when it breaks down, you can go ahead and short it again.
Hmm.
What happens is when you short here, you have all these guys who are ready to sell. Okay, actually it's entire this thing, but that's why these consolidations help. Okay, when it goes up, it will be pushed back. So you have that cushion. So right now you don't have any cushion at all. So, but if it moves sideways and then breaks lower, yeah, that would be a good place again to sell short or buy puts.
Okay.